Hello everyone. Stormgate trailer is here, the gameplay trailer. Let's watch that and have our opinions, shall we? First Gianto. Oh, okay. Quite cartoony graphics, quite bubbly like Starcraft 2. This reminds me of the feeling I got when I first saw Starcraft 2. It was so different than Starcraft 1, right? Like these bubbly, like round graphics, WoW inspired graphics. So this looks a bit like that. Ah! Did you see this violent shit? This guy exploded. Let's go back a bit. Here on the right bottom side. You know, these effects are a bit the blue ball effects when they explode. It's a bit cell shady. I guess a kind of modern style. Are these like dogs? It's like red alert a bit. Red alert.
This is TLO. Obviously played RTS my entire life, so it's
Hello, TLO.
privilege for me to be one of the first people to
Herr Dario Münch.
really stoked about this match against Kevin. I think I'm gonna do some light red in the early game and then just try to overwhelm them with a massive amount of
He's kind of worked his way into there, right? Like into the background shit. Like he's esports manager, I think, at Shopify Rebellion. No, Rebellion is the Dota team. Like he's like general esports manager, I guess, for Shopify. He did well. He did well for himself. But what's he doing here? I don't know. I guess they invited. Yeah, he's playing versus Monk. Monk is he did. I think he's responsible for most of the co-op stuff in StarCraft 2. He was, I think, a Team LiquidNet writer before or something. Okay, it's Warcraft like the resources. The main resource is at one place, and your guys just keep going there and gathering it. It looks very Warcrafty, but I think this scales. This amount of workers here, that scales probably. Like in Warcraft, you can have max 5 workers. After that, the additional ones you get don't scale because only one guy can be at the resource gathering at a time. So in this case, I think like the more you have, the better. Like with diminishing returns, right? Because the other guys would have to go around the resource. It's a well designed, a well made solution to like having diminishing returns and resource management, resource gathering, I should say. The graphics are nice. Yes, I like it.
Hi, my name is Kevin.
A bit too bubbly.
Gameplay and balanced in Stormgate. Today, I'll be trying a fast expansion build, and then I'll try to tech to higher tier units to defend whatever TLO throws at.
Oh, they're really going for the RTS audience, right? Like fast expand build and like they have to get. I think there are strategies. We have to get the StarCraft people. After that, like that's our base, and then we expand. Like if we have them, then we have a solid ground, basically. I think I can imagine like a lot of people switching, right? The guys are cool with the fucking swords. Sword guns. Kill them, boys. Kill the workers. It looks good. I mean, it looks snappy, good. I like it.
He did a lot of work.
Oh, this is the lethality. That was a key word in StarCraft in the last few years. like how fast your units die. It's much lower than in Starcraft. You can see it here. I was expecting a bit more drastic change, like because they were saying like it's gonna be somewhere between Warcraft 3, the lethality, and Brood War. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like that, but it's far away, a far cry from Warcraft 3 for sure.
So I'm in a pretty bad economic disadvantage. I'm going to have to try some really sneaky tactics.
So these guys are super cool.
TLO isn't familiar with. Perhaps, maybe even luckily.
I wish it was a tiny bit grittier, man. Like really. So like these kind of buildings and shit, they remind me, like we'll get used to it, yeah, 100%. But even still in StarCraft 2 today, I'm not 100% into it. And these, like, I mean, these are more bubbly than StarCraft 2. It reminds me of Lego or something. These guys have splash, right? Do they have splash or let's see then. When one guy is shooting, I think they have splash. That's cool. Wow, these are monsters, bro. Look at these mofos. And they remind me of the Warhound, like the unit that got scrapped from StarCraft 2. A working Warhound. One that is not Imba, probably. Okay, you can micro them with the dropship.
Attack again from the right side through the light trees, but this time we'll bring in a larger force from the left side as well. And I think I'll be able to out micro him here. He has a more static mech RB, I believe, and I might even should be able to all the tech shots, get in there, and have a pretty smooth path of tech here.
Are these medics? I don't know what they're doing. I couldn't understand. Let's look again. I don't understand what Dario is saying. So let's...
Looking forward to hopefully dealing the finishing blow again.
Okay.
Attack again from the right side through the light trees.
Oh, he's describing his attack. Okay, okay.
And I think I'll be able to out micro him here.
Okay, Dario. Okay, Dario. Okay.
Should be able to all the tech shots, get in there, and have a pretty smooth path.
Okay, there was something. Oh, some cannon. I think it did AOE damage there. Listen, this looks fun though. I want to play it. Yeah, I really want to play it. It looks the way the units move looks very nice. Let's look at movement again.
Get in there, and I think I'll be able to out micro him here.
This movement looks almost better than SC2. Like the way the units clump, they don't clump that part. Like then they don't clump that unnaturally. You can see here that some units can get into the front. He has to like walk, move command, and then attack again. But if I'm correct, like these units move much more naturally. If they manage to do that, like, that was one of my biggest gripes in StarCraft 2. That the units clump up so much, it doesn't look natural. Okay, let's go. You're up. This is day 9. What?
Racing its way across the stars.
He looks...
It's already...
Man, he looks old. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Like, but he looks like a... I guess, I don't know, like a... I don't know. He looks like in his 50s or something, like a senior CTO at a company or something like that. I mean, I think we're almost the same age. What the fuck? Also, like I think it's the Steve Jobs pullover or what he has there. Like that makes him weirdly old, I guess.
Funnily enough, in labs like DeepMind, Those same RTS games just so happen to be a valuable testing ground for world-leading AI research.
Huh.
Curious. Can it be just a coincidence, then, that I'd end up the kind of man to name himself an AI visionary? I mean, probably. But what's no coincidence is my excitement for the eagerly
Is
anticipated
it Wigenham?
former Warcraft and Starcraft devs at Frost Giant Studios. It's Stormgate. And today, we don't just get the chance to get some exclusive first look at some Stormgate gameplay. We're
Yeah.
also joined by Frost Giant's president and game director, Tim Campbell, here to tell us exactly how Stormgate will
okay,
delight
cool.
all minds, artificial or otherwise. Thanks so much for joining us, Tim. Thanks, it's great to be here. Now, I've been following Stormgate for years, but for those of us who haven't,
Me too.
is Stormgate? Stormgate is our modern take on the classic real-time strategy game formula. It's what we think of as a spiritual successor to franchises like Warcraft, Starcraft, Command and Conquer. And real-time strategy games are the type of game where you can control an entire battlefield. So this classic RTS...
It's so interesting, actually, that they managed to put so much money into this game. Like, they got, like, over 30 million, I think, for this game, to develop this game. And they must have, like, sold this idea of an RTS can be successful in our lifetimes again. And it can be, like, but it depends on what you define as success. It comes down to what you define as success, I guess. So, I mean, how much does a game have to sell to make 30 million? I guess like something like as Starcraft 3 would sell probably 10 million, right? Would it? I guess. But this is like not Starcraft 2. So that would definitely cover that, but let's see.
This formula includes harvesting resources, building sprawling bases, commanding huge armies on the battlefield. What is it about Stormgate that's new? We believe that the RTS genre is something that should be enjoyed by players of all skill levels. And so
Yeah,
a lot of effort to making sure that Stormgate feels good, whether you're a pro with high technical skill.
the RTS multiplayer experience is always going to be hardcore. It should be. It's what it is. Like, if you don't know, and I mean, it's not that it should be. Like, I'm not gatekeeping here. It's the way the games work. If you don't know how to gather information, scout, if you don't have a solid build order, somebody who has that is gonna stump you every time. That's the way it works with RTS. So the way you can like circumvent that is to have something like a co-op, right? And for StarCraft 2, co-op was the much more popular actually game mode, and a lot of people just wanna just fight together with their friends versus the computer, right? Like, this is also people RTS audience is getting older. They just want to relax and have a good time, play campaign. Like, I'm not a co-op guy. I did play a lot of 1v1s, but what I also like is like when we just want to relax, play 4v4s. That's just, you don't have as much responsibility. It's fun. And what I really liked also is like campaign achievements. Like, just going through some mission where I didn't get some certain achievement years later, still collecting those achievements and doing these try hard kind of like puzzles, right? Like to get another achievement, right? It prolongs the lifetime of the game, and if they have a good campaign with a lot of achievements, I think that would be awesome for a lot of people.
Skill and you love competitive play, or whether it's something that you just want to be able to relax with and experience a story. Now, Tim, I understand that you brought, for all of us, but in particular for me,
Such an expressive
to
goal.
show today. What are you going to show, Tim? We are going to show gameplay from the pre-alpha of Stormgate.
Yeah, we just watched that, I guess. Or is there
Believers in at Frost
something new?
We want to share this current state of the game today. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
Oh, Tim, I'm so excited.
Oh no, this is something new.
This looks like an RTS. Tell me what we're seeing. This is the classic start to a 1v1 match. What you're seeing here is the human faction as they're sending workers out to harvest resources. They're starting to construct building. They actually built them by 3D printing them from the ground up. And you can see them now starting to train troops so they can have an army that goes out in the field to fight. Yeah, and I mean, right here, we see in the corner coming up, this looks like a scout unit. Yeah, that is literally a cybernetic dog with laser eyes. It is called the Scout.
What? Okay, they have a dedicated scout unit. But we saw these dogs also attacking en masse, right? A dog scout with okay, enhanced. That was must have been a funny idea when somebody proposed that. Hey, let's have a dog, bro. Probably somebody's dog in the office. Where somebody like, hey, why don't we have him in the game? It's a bit weird, but I can get behind it for sure.
Designed for early game, it's a unique unit to the human faction. Right. And you can see him now running through the base trying to see what information he can find out about them.
This is also good in a sense, like, so when StarCraft first came out for the first StarCraft, right? Like, we didn't know things like scouting, how important that was. But it is, right? Like, so people started to use their workers to scout. So that's not a very intuitive thing. Okay, one of my workers who's supposed to gather minerals is now going to the other base, and I'm losing minerals, but I have to see what he's doing. So this idea of a dedicated scouting unit, I think eases up on that initial hurdle in PvP to scout, right? To get into that mindset of I have to find out what my opponent is doing, and this unit is for that. So instantly, you know that this is something you should be doing, just like in Age of Empires, right? Like you have the dedicated scout unit there, and you have it here too.
I mean, scouting and information is such an important part of RTS games.
Yeah.
It really is. And this is something that we've embraced early game. The Scout unit has been designed so it can actually sense units beyond its sight radius. So it's especially useful early on.
Oh, wow. I wonder if that's especially used for early on. Okay, I wonder if you're then later in the game, when you with your army have one of these scouts. In Age of Empires you do sometimes, because they have a larger vision in the forest and stuff. Just to have vision, you know?
Engagement of this game. What do we see?
Well, what we're seeing right here is the Red Scout getting surprised by a group of blue troops coming through the Light Forest, which is a new train type and twist on the tactical battlefield here.
Is this from the game of TLO versus Monk? We saw this, right?
Blue to raid Red's base, in which case Red is barely getting...
These guys are spear guys? Okay, I have to listen to what they're saying, I guess.
through the Light Forest, which is a new train type and a twist on the tactical battlefield here. How do these Light Forests work?
New terrain
When
type.
smaller units move through them, they have concealment. It's allowed Blue to raid Red's base, in which case Red is barely getting a turret built with their speed building from their workers, another human faction advantage.
And they're spear building, or like in Warcraft, basically. I think they took a lot of impression from Warcraft. Not impression. What is it? Yeah, they were inspiration. I wanted to say. Yeah.
About a couple extra defenders here from their mech base.
So we got these huge mechs, and we just
Yeah, the game feels a lot. I think Monk is a big fan of Warcraft. It feels like that. I'm a big fan too. Like I tried playing it. I suck at it. Like I was really pummeled when when Reforged was coming out. I just thought that let's play this game competitively online, and people are so good in that game, and there are not many newbies. So, but it's a very fun concept and very, very fun game. A lot of decisions in that game, and that you lack in StarCraft 2.
No, they're too big to go through. They're heavy units. They're designed to use their chain guns to go through herds of enemies, but they can't fit through the Light Forest, which Blue knew and used to his advantage.
Okay, so we're in bid game. This is normally where you make some big tech decisions. What's Red up to?
You're seeing Red commit to a tech path that gives them big battlefield mechs and air units like the CVAC.
And it looks
I wonder if mech is separated from bio like in StarCraft 2.
like they're just dropping right on top of Blue, who was killing it.
That would be probably not good, right? Like that was one of the biggest issues always in StarCraft. As Terran, you have to decide if you're going mech or bio, and once you've decided, it's very hard to change that in a competitive game.
A chicken? What's the chicken there, Tim?
Yeah, that's a giant chicken.
It makes the race basically one-dimensional, right? Like you only have access in a game to half of your potential units, and depending on which, if mech or bio is seen as more viable, you just play half your race all the time in some matchups, right? That's not good.
With a Viking helmet on it. Use your imagination.
What chicken? What the chicken always on
Right on top of Blue.
Oh yeah, there's a chicken.
Killing a chicken? What's the chicken there, Tim?
Yeah, that's a giant chicken with a Viking helmet on it. Use your imagination. Stormgate's in pre-alpha, and that's art that we haven't gotten to yet. But imagine it as a
That's really fun that they kept that in.
big Mad Max Raider.
Threatening placeholder art for now.
It was supposed to be a Mad Max Raider, yeah. Okay.
And hey, picking back up into the air transport, that's some classic high-level micro.
It is, and it's really important.
I like the units feel
So players can
like satisfying when they're shooting, right? Like these guys, these Gatling guns, feels very satisfying. I think they got that feeling well.
And here we have the final fight of the game. It looks like Blue is coming up against those mechs. Red is trapped on the other side of the trees. Oh, wait, they can blast through them now? And Blue's dodging these enormous shots, and we also see Blue swarming.
They didn't blast through this forest here? Oh yeah, I didn't get that, I guess.
They can blast through them now?
Wow.
And Blue's dodging these enormous shots, and we also see Blue swarming in.
This is very cool that they have something like trees and forests. It is a lot of fun to mess with that shit. This is, again, a Warcraft 3 thing, right? Like you could, with artillery, you can take down trees and make new paths. Even in Dota, you can play a lot with trees, like the way they block vision, and you can just play around with that, or like make new paths, like I said, with Warcraft 3. I wonder if you're gathering wood in some way. That would be like for a techie game like this, that would be a weird thing, I guess. Well, like this makes maps much more interesting, I think. Like also in Age of Empires, the maps are much more interesting because of because of random resource distribution, which won't be probably the case here, but also trees.
From both sides, this is not looking good for Red.
You know, it's pretty grim. Red is on the ropes right here, and they've been outmaneuvered. They're caught in the corner here between two different forces coming in with a defensor.
Man, and of course,
There's the GGs.
Oh, the game looks fun.
classic ending to an RTS game. GG. Get Tastosis on that stat. Outside of 1v1, what's coming up for Stormgate?
What you've seen today is just the tip of the iceberg. We have so much more in store. We're going to be revealing a bunch of stuff about Stormgate the rest of this year. We're introducing new modes. We have a 3-player versus AI cooperative mode. We have team-based competitive modes. We're going to be
3-player versus AI. That's cool. Oh yeah, it should be. I mean, if they have like good higher difficulties there, and which they will have in Starcraft 2, there's crazy difficulties with the co-op. I think it will be
sharing information about
a lot of fun.
and campaign. We have new factions beyond the humans that you just saw today.
But Tim, what if I want to play the game right now?
Sometimes it's a bit too much for me.
Play the game as
with
soon as possible.
Day 9 and
Wish
Pix.
list Stormgate on Steam, and you go to playstormgate.com to sign up for the beta. We're starting closed testing in July.
Once again, go to Steam. And
In July, close testing.
Tim, thank you so much again for joining
Oh, please.
The
give me a
1v1
key.
footage you shared with future content plans of Stormgate, it makes the RTS players' dreams come true. Which might not be your dreams. I mean, your dreams might be filled with gloriously grimy Deus Ex-inspired sci-fi fisticuffs with a fiendishly Star Wars vibe to it. If so, get a load of this latest trailer for Fortune's Run.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hyped as fuck. I guess like the graphic style is now decided for this game. So I can live with it. It's not the what I would prefer, but at least we saw how these Marines exploded, right? Like with guts and shit. That was maybe it's like a half gritty, half. I mean, it's not gritty. Let's be honest, but like the even the trailer, like the video, wasn't very gritty. It looks a bit mobile to me, but we'll see. We'll see how they manage to do it. I hope like the game has a soul. That's one thing that I hope. Is that it has a cool universe, and that the story is not cookie cutter. It's a bit more complex and complex characters. that's what sells me on a game like this. Yes, I like to play PvP. I like to have fun and with gameplay and shit. But if I'm not like, if I find the story is utmost shit, the most common denominator type of thing, that instantly kind of I get frigid on that game. That's what happened with Diablo 3. Like I thought the story was not respecting my mind or something. You know, it was so simple and stupid that you feel like the game is not at all for you. It's not respecting you. So if this game has a soul, if they manage to do that part well, from what I've seen until now, all the interviews and news about this game focused on how the interviews, they all focused on the gameplay aspect of the game, which was fine, and that they are making the perfect game, basically, that they can make the perfect RTS. But the world has to feel right, the story has to feel right, the characters need to feel right, and not some childish, not even childish. I wouldn't dare call it even childish, because children love these kind of complex worlds that they can lose themselves in, right? Like as a kid, most of us played Starcraft 1. Those who played, right? Those played as a kid, that's what I mean. And we were enamored with this world and with this story. So it's mostly adults who think that the kids lack this imagination, or lack this understanding of a complex story, which is not the case. So make a like gripping, cool story and world. That's what that's my main wish for this game. The other parts, I think they're gonna do well. It seems like that they got good people. They are putting a lot of effort into it, and they have passion for it. So I'm not worried about the gameplay at all, or the features around the game. So thank you for listening. This will be all this time. Bye bye, and have fun gaming.